Hey guys, what's up? I'm driving through the Angeles Crest Highway right now in my ND3 MX5. ND3 Miata. Some people don't call this a Miata, I don't know why. I've had this car for about a month now, and I kind of wanted to just talk a little bit about my thought process for buying this car, and how ownership has been. So basically, I bought this car brand new without knowing how to drive a manual, and as you can see, it's a manual. So to start off, like, my thought process was just kind of like, this ND could be like the last gas-powered and maybe even manual Miata that comes out. You know, these types of like gas-powered manual cars that are lightweight and like relatively affordable. You know, I didn't know how to drive manual, and so I literally had to get one of my girlfriend's coworkers, who's like the only person I know in my vicinity who knows how to drive manual, because barely anyone knows how to drive manual these days, to come with me to the dealership to pick up the car. And literally during the test drive, I was even driving during the test drive because like I didn't even know how to drive manual, right? And basically every night I would go out at like midnight or like 1 a.m. to learn how to drive the car. It was kind of fucked because I live near Silver Lake, and if you know anything about Silver Lake, it's got a shit ton of hills, shit ton of stop signs, shit ton of traffic. So it's a pretty tough place to learn how to drive manual. But I figured, you know what, I'm just gonna like, that's kind of why I went out every night at midnight when there are very little cars on the road. So if I stall, you know, like, people aren't fucking pissed at me. I mean, I still definitely pissed a few people off, but... So there was basically this Costco near where I live. It's in Los Feliz. And I'd kind of just pull up there every night, like, at like 1 a.m., 12:30, when it's empty, and just kind of practice in there. And once I got enough confidence, I would kind of just go for a drive, like, around. God damn, look at this scenery. Jesus. So fast forward to now, it's been like about a month. I'm still learning how to shift smoothly. So one thing about these ND Miatas is they have, from what I've heard, like very little to no rev hang. So you have to shift really fast or else the revs drop too low in order for you to get the right timing on the shift, and the car will kind of like jerk forwards. Because the engine speed is too slow for the wheel speed when you let off the clutch, right? So these aren't exactly the easiest cars to learn manual on. The clutch is also like really grabby, so it'll suddenly just grab, and you'll suddenly get like a jerk, so you have to be pretty careful about matching the speed right, and also like how you slip the clutch. And so my thought process kind of going into the purchase, this is the RF GT trim, and it costs out the door roughly 41k, 42k, like in that ballpark, including tax and all the registration. I did get, I think, around $1,500 off of MSRP from the dealership. And, you know, with the tariffs and everything, prices are about to spike. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna pull the trigger. And my girlfriend's dad, he had like a very interesting way of thinking about it. You need to think about it more in terms of like how much you're gonna lose in investment income. Weigh that against like the joy of owning a car. Like, I think that's a better way of kind of calculating the opportunity cost, rather than it being like, you know, like 40,000. It's more like 10,000, or like maybe a little more than 10,000. But yeah, I'm gonna let this guy go. Anyway, where was I? A few things about Miata ownership outside of kind of, you know, it being my first manual car. Yes, the Miata is insanely small. I went from kind of, you know, like an econobox sedan type of situation with a pretty big trunk to this Miata with very little trunk space, very little cabin space. Like, there's barely any room for anything. There's literally no glove box. And it's been fine for me because, you know, like I don't really need that much space. Like, the worst part of driving the Miata is going to Costco for sure, because every single item you buy is a gamble after a certain point, because you're just like, fuck, like, is this gonna fit in the Miata? Some other things about this manual Miata, it's not as low as people, so people are like, oh, sports cars are low, you're gonna scrape. The stock ride height of the Miata is like pretty high. Like, it's roughly the same height as my other sedan. And didn't really scrape on anything in the sand, and I do not scrape on anything in the Miata for the most part. Oh, another one. And yeah, just on my other point, I mean, they were going a little too fast, but you're kind of like buying into this experience of every time you see another Miata on the street, like they'll wave at you. And it sounds like, you know, kind of stupid, or not stupid, but it doesn't sound like much, but like it really brings up your mood. Like maybe you'll just be driving and then traffic will be really bad, or someone was being an asshole to you on the road, and then you'll drive by a Miata and be like, oh shit. They'll wave at you, like give you a smile, and you'll just be back like feeling good. So I think the best part of owning this car, for sure, for me, has just been the ability to just, whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed, and obviously like I don't live too far from here, like I can drive about 30-40 minutes and I'm like right here, but it's just to come out and drive. Like it really just, it's like an escape. And it really, like, all your stress, all your worries, everything just melts away. It's just you, 3 pedals, a steering wheel, and this is super cliche and people say this a lot, but really, like, driving a car that you like on a nice road is genuinely just therapy. I do not have a stock exhaust on right now. So yes, I have actually worked on the car a little bit, and it was also my first time working on a car. And the Miata aftermarket support is really nice. There's a bunch of very reputable sellers and manufacturers of like aftermarket parts. I've done a lot of research. I mean, I only have the exhaust and I have some rims that I'm gonna put on pretty soon. But you can find pretty much whatever mod you want. Like, if you're driving your Miata and you're thinking like, fuck, like I wish it was more like this, like someone definitely sells a mod for whatever you're thinking of that's very well supported, and there's a lot of documentation and videos and just tutorials on how to install that part and troubleshoot any problems with it online. So like the community is amazing. Holy shit, it's so much better today than it is like on a Saturday morning. Right now I'm here like on a like Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening around like 6 p.m. right now. No cars. If you're seeing this, don't come, because I want it to be empty still. Woo! Oh fuck, we got a BMW behind us. Let them go. Shit, look at these fucking views, bro. Dude, it's crazy you can just fucking drive, like, you can be in the middle of Silver Lake, like, getting yelled at by a fucking Karen driving, like, a Porsche Cayenne, and then you can drive, like, 40 minutes and then be here. It's fucking crazy. Damn, we still got service? What the hell? Alright, we took a little break. Got the top down now. Ooh, almost stalled. So yeah, like I won't bullshit and say that like I've like driven a lot of sports cars and I know like how nice this experience is. Like I know it's nice because other people say it's nice, but if I'm being honest, like I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I think it's pretty tossable, it's pretty lightweight. I'm not like, you know, like a great driver or anything. I suck. But it gives a shitty driver like me confidence on a windy road like this, which says something, you know? Even though I can't comment on how my experience is in other sports cars, I don't feel like I'm gonna kill myself driving this car hard. Oh wow, this place is empty. Every time I come, it's normally packed. Woo! Ooh. Oh, maybe we can stop over here. Oh. thank you guys so much for watching. I just started, so, you know, if you have any feedback on my driving, on the videos, anything, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear your thoughts kind of on my decision to buy this manual Miata without knowing how to drive a manual. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, great week, great weekend, and I'll catch you on the next one.